Stop, look, and watch, it's Crazy
You know, it's funny. I was trying to get back into a regular sleeping schedule, but somehow I ended up doing the reverse. I was trying to go to bed at like midnight, get up at like 10 or 8, but somehow I've gotten to the point where I'm going to bed at 3 p.m. and getting up at 8 p.m. Like that's nuts to me. I feel like my circadian rhythm and everything is going out of whack. I bleached my hair blonde. Several times, actually. I did it once back in like 2011, 2010. It didn't look very good. I did it again in 2013 for a film I made because I just wanted a character to look different than myself. I did it again the next year, in October 2014, because I wanted to make a continuation of the story. And I filmed quite a bit. And then that's when all my equipment was... You know, my computer, my hard drive, all the footage just taken away. But I remember when bleaching my hair, it was either the second or third time, but I thought it would be kind of cool to dye my hair black. At the time, I was thinking that I would just do it right after to get my hair back to a normal, a color that looked normal enough for me. But on top of that, I was like, well, hey, why not do black? Try that out. But I never did. And so this is like 6 or 7 years later, I finally got around to doing it. And why? Because of the quarantine. Why do I have this stupid looking mustache? Because of the quarantine. What else am I gonna do? I think my inability to stick to my own schedule is fascinating. Because I had 2 videos planned that did not happen the way I was planning at all. And this distracted driving thing was supposed to come out on Friday, but instead I came out on Thursday. And then what was supposed to be on Thursday got totally pushed back. The Picnic Boy versus the Hypno Undergrad extras. And I did this friend-zoned rehearsal video that I didn't even plan. I just thought of it. It's so weird because like I avoid doing the videos that are planned, but I still end up doing videos anyway, and then eventually I'm going to end up doing those other videos anyway, too. This is like, sometimes I don't understand how my own mind works, you know? I feel like I'm sitting with myself too much. And it's making me go more insane than usual. I start school in 7 days, the next quarter of school, and it's all online. So that's going to be interesting, because I've had online classes before, even in high school. I actually had a bunch, but nothing like this. So it's going to be a brand new experience for me. You know, whether I liked all of it or not, I'm so used to having interactions with other people. I'm spending my 3rd quarter at school back home, and through classes and just people living in my building that I was familiar with, getting food. There was always that interaction. Even when I would spend the whole day in my room, at least my roommate was there, so I had some sort of interaction, until my 2nd quarter when he abruptly disappeared. The last time I talked to my roommate was the day that we were supposed to be gone for winter break, but then he didn't come back the next quarter. I have no idea why. I like to think that there was this person in in one of the neighboring buildings that annoyed him to the point where he moved, which I find hilarious. Or maybe he dropped out, maybe he switched schools, maybe a million things happened. I don't actually know. So I spent my 2nd quarter at school not having a roommate, which was, you know, I was really looking forward to having a roommate, just to have that unique dynamic. But then the 2nd quarter was actually surprisingly nice, not having a roommate. But now I have the next 6 months living at home, which is funny. I haven't lived at home in like a year and a half. In fact, this place where my family lives is essentially brand new to me. We lived on Whidbey Island, and then in 2018 I moved to Canada for a year. Then I moved back in with my family, which by then they had moved into this new house. and I lived here for about a week or two, and then I went off to school. Then I was back here for 3 weeks in the winter, and then back to school. But now I'm here for a good 6 months, and yeah, ideally, a lot of the summer will be taken up by me being other places. But still, it's interesting. So, seeing as there's still a lot of stuff to like unpack here, and even from when my parents moved in, there's still things of mine to sort through because I haven't been here for most of that time. But for the time being, I don't have any good lighting setup. That lamp doesn't really work, and it doesn't help much anyway, even if it did, because it's behind me. Then I just had the overhead light on, and then I only had my monitor on a little bit to get some light on from there. But I have these studio lights that I've used for years. I need to find them. They're somewhere, and set them up, because this is like, it's super dark. And when I was editing the VEDIA intro video for this month, I saw that footage I grabbed from the 2016 video, and it's like so much brighter because where we lived then, I had this window that would cast all this sunlight in the morning and noon time, and then I had that rainbow or crayon blanket, and it really would like the sunshine would hit that and highlight the colors, and then sometimes I would up the saturation in the video a little bit. So for the video for this month, the thing that actually took the longest was color correcting and trying to get everything to look nice because of how bad the lighting was. I think I got it a little bit better tonight, but in that video, the original footage looked like it was shone on by gold, and not in like a cool way. So I'm trying to figure that out. There's a part of me that says pandemics don't happen anymore, so don't worry about it. But there's the other part of me that says obviously there's a pandemic happening. Obviously it's real. We have to take it seriously. But then there's the other part of me that says I don't care. I just want to do the things I want to do. I feel like it's good to do this because I've got all these random bundles of thoughts floating around in my brain. I just need to expel because I don't have much interaction here. I have my family, that's great, but they're not much for conversation. No offense. I mean, my sister and my dogs, but I mean that's so mean. My parents are very much capable of conversation. We just tend to converse about different things instinctually. At least the weather has been fantastic this last week or so. My mother has all these vintage Muppet McDonald's cups, and she had a bit of a collection of them, and we just use them as the normal drinking cups. But I always really liked them. But a few years ago, I broke one by accident. I felt horrible about it. But then I was at the thrift store, and I found two other ones that were obviously from the same idea, same era and collection, all that, but that she didn't have. And so I got those for Mother's Day, I think it was, that year. I always liked that story. It's my story, but I always liked it, just because I thought it was cool. It's like, oh, well, I got to make up for it and get her new glasses, because I'm such a great person. I've been trying to find a job. I've been applying to different places. I've been making phone calls. No one's hiring, which is funny because everyone was hiring for a very short period of time. Then there was that influx of like high schoolers, I'm sure, were a big chunk of it because they don't have physical school now. Now they're taking up all the jobs. But I don't actually know if that's the case. That's just my guessing, assumptions. Also, I haven't really been to enough businesses to tell. Recently I've been wondering if I would be okay. So being locked up, I've been just sort of trying to organize things, and also I've been experimenting cooking more, which I never do. And so I'm starting to, and I'm really enjoying it. So I'm thinking, like, would I be happy living life as like a cook? And then I would just cook at home, and then I would go to work and just like log data, because I enjoy that stuff. Like, you know, especially if I can like listen to music a little bit. It doesn't distract from the work. It helps me work, boss. I feel like that'd be such a content life. I wonder about those things. Like, what do I want in life? Tom Hanks is probably gonna die, which is a shame. But when it comes to the Doctor Who episodes here, I logged the story, the episodes, the Doctor, the runtime, and the air date. And some of these clock in at quite a long time. There's the E-Space trilogy, which is like half an entire season, I'm pretty sure, and it runs at 5 hours. The Trial of the Time Lord is even longer than 5 hours. Blows me away how much of Doctor Who there was back in the day. Seems like they were spoiled, because now we only get 10 to 13 episodes every 2 years, and they aren't even that good. But it's really impressive. BoJack Horseman is over. The Good Place ended at the same time, basically, as BoJack Horseman. Better Call Saul is about to be added new episodes for a year or two. At least we have essentially another season of The Office with all those deleted scenes that have been being released. And John Krasinski just started his Good News show. There's certainly bright spots. I've been watching a lot of Mental Floss. I've been absorbing all these random facts. Like, I learned there's a banana museum in Washington State. And no offense to the people who host that show. I guess I just really like John Green. And so when it comes to the List show, if the episode isn't hosted by John, I don't have any interest in it. Except I did watch one hosted by Craig, or Wheezy Waiter. And that was a fun change of pace. For a one-time thing, you know? I don't know. That's enough rambling from me. Stay safe out there. Wash your hands. Don't touch anybody under any circumstances. Wear a condom, and don't forget to be awesome. See you tomorrow.
Choo choo.
Oh, also, I just realized it was upside down for, I think, this whole video, but if you notice this on my coat, that is a cutout, that is a little wood carving of Kramer from Seinfeld. I got it at this art gallery in Ellensburg, which is where I go to school. And my friend Molly has one of Jerry, I think.